Hey, I don't know if this is gonna work or not. It's freezing pretty bad on my end. Let me see. I messed something up on my computer. I don't know what. But we're trying. You're still in Canada? I don't blame you. I wish I was. Anywhere but here, currently. Trump's about to die in office. Dude, we are electing people that are way too old. And I would make the same argument against Biden. Like, I'm not even biased in that way. They're just too fucking old. Why do we have to watch the president die in front of our eyes?
What you think about when you're born into a fire. Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now.
What's up, guys?
Dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big.
The real Trump is on Mars with Elon. I thought they split.
And the doubt we've been thinking
That was Elon got Mars in a divorce.
fade away. This is bigger than ourselves. We won't let the world burn away. Burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To play hate is bad.
Oh shit! Stop the music. Sorry, there's stuff going on with my computer. I don't know. It's so I accidentally somehow deleted a directory file so it wouldn't boot. Then I had to flash a new copy of Windows from a different computer, put it on the M.2, which is what it boots from, and then get it booted back up. Which luckily most of my programs and shit were here, but I don't know what's going on around. It's real. It's like freezing and jumping around. So we'll try to stream. We'll see what happens.
Hey daddies, it's me, the Linda Binda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just like very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that it's very thick, like a good old German sausage. You know, Linda and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not go there. Anyways, I hope you have a good show and enjoy it as you can. There's a lot of weird things that go on, especially when it comes from the realm of Linda Bindaland. So, enjoy the show. Thanks for watching.
Hey, daddies.
Peace out.
Welcome, everybody. I am Will Bird, and this is the Cold Beer Confessional. A little late start. I fucked up my computer. This is 100% on me. Liam had a golf match today, and I went to that, brought him home, or brought him to Mariah here in town. She was in town at the grocery store, and he did all right. Liam sometimes, like I think a lot of people struggle with this with the golf, sometimes he hits shots that are fucking amazing. And I'm like, where the hell did that come from? But then his next 4 shots are like, in the woods, in the creek, in the rough, in the wherever, in the sand. But sometimes, so obviously something's clicking, and I can tell it's more fun for him now that he's been playing for 3 years now. So the first probably 2 years, we're just trying to find the ball. Where the hell did it go? Where is it? Oh my God, we can't find it. That's a penalty stroke. We got to drop a ball. Now, when he hits a shot and it actually does what he's trying to do, you can see it like light up in his eyes. So when we can find the ball a lot easier and stay on the fairway. So he's doing all right. He's got, I was talking to the coach today and he's like, well, we're not exactly state champions or nothing. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, but the point is like, there's like a level to overcome to where you can actually have fun, right? Like if it's the first time ever swinging a club, it's probably going to be miserable. And if you don't push through that, you're just going to hate it and quit. Liam's at that level where he's just starting to have fun, I think. And I like watching him do that. And if nothing else, let's say he doesn't play later on in life. He doesn't play in college. He doesn't get a scholarship. None of that happens. He's gotten to play golf for 7 years for free. You know what I mean? Like, all the golf he's playing right now, including if he wants to go to our home course, which is run by the Elks Lodge. If he wants to go to our home course, that's all free. So there you go. He's enjoying it so far. I think they only play 9 holes. He shot a 60, which isn't great. You know, par would be like a 36. But he was like a minuscule amount. I don't know how this ball didn't drop. There had to be like one blade of grass holding it left away from getting par today on a hole. And he talked about that the whole way home. Talked to the kids he was playing with from the other schools. So he's doing all right. I'm trying to find a golf coach. Like, I understand his golf team has a coach, but there's not enough time for the coach to like deconstruct his swing and fix it. So I'm trying to find a golf coach that I can just pay hourly or something by the lesson. I don't know. But it's been incredibly hard. I actually found 2 on Facebook, contacted them both. They both blew me off after they got back, they responded. And then they just kind of disappeared. And I found one on an app that is like, it's an app for like hiring coaches and tutors and shit like that. And I don't even know if that person ever got the message. I sent them a message. They had their rates posted, like a profile, their location, the areas they service, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of like Fiverr website, but for coaches and tutors and shit. And I don't even remember the name of it now, but that person never responded. I sent a message through the app I even looked him up on Facebook and sent a message because I figured maybe the app takes like a percentage and I'll pay them the full amount. You know, that we don't have to go through the app. But no, never heard anything back. So if you know any golf coaches in the Johnson City, Tennessee area, let me know, chat. Other than that, kind of an uneventful day. I did a little bit of work around the campground, got ready for a golf match, and that was it. Mariah did more work than I did today at the campground. She picking up, cleaning up, getting ready for. We got a grant. We got a $10,000 material grant, so hopefully that'll help us put our office and bathroom back together, and we'll see what we can make from that. I do have a couple videos that were already left over that we'll probably watch, and we'll go from there. First of all, someone sent me this. This has got to be the greatest slap in the face. It has to be. People running DoorDash aren't doing it because they're financially sound, right? They're not doing it because, you know, they got $1 million in the bank, or they don't have to worry about their bills and their rent and shit. Like, they're financially secure, right? People running DoorDash are probably fucking struggling. And I understand you may be struggling as well and can't afford DoorDash. Then don't fucking order DoorDash. But people who get their fucking order through DoorDash, everything's right, everything's good, no mistakes made in a timely manner, and then report that they never received it, are the fucking lowest of the low, right? They're charging this driver back as if he didn't go pick up and this does this all the time. I'm glad people are making videos and calling them out now. That's what they deserve. To get your food and fucking eat it and then claim that you never got it and get the fucking driver in trouble and cost him money. Bullshit.
These days, DoorDashing, man. This is why I hate DoorDash. This is the shit I be talking about. I'm trying to bring my this is the third time that shit didn't happen. Why do y'all do that?
I am glad people are calling them out now instead of just saying, oh, well, they'll learn their lesson or whatever.
Like, why do people do that? I'm documenting this shit to show y'all what we...
Yes, it's very bad. I saw there's a video. I was going to show it on the show. I didn't. But this lady went viral because this man and woman pulled up in her driveway for her Walmart order, with her Walmart order. And her Walmart order said apartments on the side of a house. And it was like, there's a house up front, and then there's like a little walkway went on the side, and there was a side entrance door. It's a very small apartment, but it is an apartment on the side of the house. So the first thing the passenger, which is the female, says to the woman who ordered is, it says apartment, not house. It says apartment, not house. We got to clear this up or we can't give you your stuff. And she's like, what? No, there's an apartment to the side of the house. I get stuff from Walmart delivery all the time. And then the woman was like, the woman in the car, not the woman who orders, the woman delivery driver, she was actually the delivery driver. Her son was driving her around for some reason. They were together. She kept asking for the pin. What's the pin? What's the pin? And she's like, I got the pin. This is the right address. This is me. I'll give you my name, whatever. And they wouldn't unload the car. And in my head, I kept thinking, like, why doesn't the person who ordered just give them the pin? What they were trying to do was put the pin in, which is confirmation that you got it delivered. You're not supposed to give them the pin until you have the product in hand. They were trying to get the pin put in, and then they were going to steal her shit. They were going to get her to give them the pin through the window, put it in, and then drive away and steal their shit. But anyways, they caused a big fuss over that. And like at first, it was a white and black. So first, a bunch of racial issues, this, that, and the other. But then eventually it came out that they were just trying to steal her shit. And they ended up getting fired. It's Spark, I think. Yeah, somebody just said it in chat. And Spark, Walmart driver. Yeah, it's Spark. They're delivery drivers.
We go through. I'm documenting this shit to show y'all what we go through as dashers. Yes, I'm pulling right back up to this mother job. I'm tired of this shit.
And the poorhouse I deliver to are nice folks and tip well. Yeah. Well, I think poor people really understand, like, people that aren't as well off understand that you're probably in that situation too. And they understand what it's like to be fucked over, not be able to pay the bills or picking up an extra shift. I wouldn't say it's exclusively wealthy people, but there has to be something in your mind that you don't understand. You don't have empathy for that person who is delivering to you, right? Like, what the fuck? Some type of disconnect.
Canceling their order when they got their order, bro. That shit is crazy. Where my keys? Where's my keys at? It's always doing this shit. Shit is ridiculous.
Amazon started doing, they got to do a picture of it on your car or in front of your door or something.
I'm trying to see.
Not all deliveries, but
Here, do you
it's bad. There's a guy. So I was always afraid that if I had too many undelivered packages, because sometimes Amazon will take a picture of the package, and I've had this happen a couple times, and I can't even identify where the fuck that is. It's at someone else's house. And this town is tiny. It's like even in places that I don't know, and I know almost everybody lives in this town, right? So I don't know where the fuck they're taking the packages to and taking a picture of it. I can't even identify like the background or the road they're on. I have no idea. But they'll say they delivered it here and then take a picture. I've even drove around my town like looking for them. But I'm always afraid like too many undeliverable or stolen packages or too many returns or whatever will get me banned from Amazon, and we use it all the time, right? No, I can't do the sign for it. I'm never here when they deliver at the office. But there's a guy on TikTok that is literally ordering anvils, hundreds of pounds of anvils every day and returning it. And he's been doing it for months, and he's not got his account banned. And I'm always afraid, like, oh, fuck, they lost my package. If I report it and get a new one, are they going to fucking ban me and think I'm running some type of scheme on them?
Listen, bring you all y'all food, you know what I'm saying? I hate to say this, but people do this the most. People do this the most. You try to bring them their food.
He said black people do it the most.
Excuse me. That break room, it's upstairs, bro. Baby, you lit up there? Okay. Thank you, love. I'm sick of this shit, man. Break room, she says upstairs. She says up the stairs. I'm sick of this and I'm tired of this shit. I just left here.
Why do you go downstairs?
She said, is he in this break room? Always doing this. You gotta be upstairs. Always doing this lame ass shit.
I think when this is found out, they ought to ban you from the app, ever using it again. I know they won't because they might penalize you somehow, but they want as many customers as possible, but still.
There you go. There you go. Look at him. Just
eating his food, and claiming it wasn't delivered.
killing man. It's good, bro. No, bro. I'm the one who just brought you that DoorDash food. I just DoorDashed you that. You just remember a couple minutes ago. So I'm driving, bro. And you canceled the order, bro. I'm trying to.
They say their food's not delivered and they get a refund.
Why you canceled it? Say you didn't get it, and you sitting there eating it. Oh, bro. And you come at me.
They do ban them like very first time, or do you have to be repeated?
What you supposed to have? I had with a Sprite. I don't even drink one soda. Okay.
I don't drink orange soda. There's drinks missing, and the straw's in it.
But that's up to McDonald's, and you gonna just keep eating. That's up to McDonald's. McDonald's messed up your order, not me. Bro, you supposed to check it, bro.
Trying to come up with excuses. Oh, well, I ordered a Sprite.
You supposed to check it. Am I right? No, but I'm just saying, but why, okay, you're right. So let's say if I mess it up, why you just didn't, I could have came back, you could have, you know what I'm saying, wrote it in them notes, I could have got you or something. I'm on my lunch break and everything. No, bro, because people always pull this shit on me, bro. Like, you understand, bro, this is how I make my money, my living, bro. When y'all do shit like this, y'all can get me banned from the account.
Do it a few times.
What you mean got nothing to do with you, bro? So you just gonna sit here and lie and you gonna sit and you eating the food.
He doesn't even stop eating while this guy's calling him out, dude.
Bro, I don't give a bro. It don't matter, bro. Say when I order. So. Then you tell me last time, bro. We finna close up. I'm on my lunch break, bro. Listen.
Dude, it would take everything inside of me to not turn that fucking orange soda into a projectile.
So So you can't like go back
right now.
So you got it, bro. These days,
Yeah, they're usually sealed with like a sticker, right? I don't even think they're supposed to go through your food. I guess you could see orange soda versus Sprite, but still, damn. Like, is that where we're at now? So you cancel. This guy ends up having to pay out of his check for your whole fucking order, right? You get refunded. They charge the fucking driver. And then he probably gets in trouble with DoorDash, right? Because they think he either stole it or some shit. I don't know. It's fucked up, man. That's all I can say. It's fucked up. Would have refunded the soda instantly. Yeah, he reported the food never arrived. Yeah, he didn't report an issue. He reported that it never got there. It's bullshit. I don't know what these are. There's not even a preview. Let's see. Oh, no. Already saw Chit.
My guy is working today.
He's doing Santa bowling.
Chit, turn that off. Guys, this is Curtis Williams, a member of our board of directors.
Nice to meet you all, although I wish it was under better circumstances.
Why? What's up?
Don't be alarmed. Your jobs are safe. For now.
For now? What does that mean?
Curtis, do you want to take it from here?
First things first, I want to thank all of you for your dedication to the company over the years. I know you're all working extremely hard.
Chit.
That timing, man.
The board and I have moved to sell the company.
What? Oh, hold on. You're selling?
Selling despite opposition from our founder.
Yes, but we believe that is
Like a hostile takeover?
in the best interests of the company.
When is this going to happen?
We anticipate in a few weeks.
Oh, this is bad timing. I just broke ground on my new fire pit. Yeah.
I know there's another news you wanted to hear.
It's gonna be great for parties.
Yeah, Chit, I know. I'm just trying to...
Curtis, you like s'mores?
Chit.
Sam, I know you do. Hey, what are you guys doing next weekend?
Chit. Curtis, thank you for coming in person. I'll walk you out.
I can't believe this. This is a hostile takeover.
Yeah. I say we fight.
Chit, what?
Yeah. This job is the best thing that's ever happened to us. Yeah. Let's make a plan to stop it.
You think we can?
Yeah. This is the lion's den. If not us, who?
Yeah. You know what? You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, this is our house.
Yeah.
This is the lion's den.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we put our heads together, we can think of something.
Yeah.
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 That's right.
Yeah.
We work together.
Yeah.
Chit.
Five. That's from 8 hours ago, so I'm sure there isn't another upload yet. This is bonus Chit.
What you got there?
Yeah, it's the one-eyed pug. Yeah.
And is he wearing a wig?
Yeah.
A little wig on.
Yeah.
That's not his natural hair?
No, I threw this on for some fun. Yeah.
It seems like
Yeah.
black.
Yeah, well, we have a lot in
What's going on
common.
under here?
Yeah, it's got one eye. Yeah.
Oh.
You know, I almost lost an eye once at a slip and slide. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got going too fast.
How fast, Chitty?
Yeah, pretty fast.
Was it just water on that slip and slide?
Oh, yeah. Really, I was lubed up. Well, off we go. Back to it then. Yeah.
That's an amazing character. An amazing character. I love it. There's one more that Austin sent. Let's see what they are. Let's see what it is. Oh, no. Found Footage Festival. Understanding diabetes and living a healthy life.
Diabetes.
Wilford fucking Brimley.
Thank you, Wilford. Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes.
Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes.
Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes.
Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes.
Diabetes.
Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes.
Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes.
Diabetes. Diabetes.
Diabetes. Diabetes.
Diabetes. Diabetes.
Diabetes. Diabetes. Diabetes.
So, you got diabetes.
I may or may not have a family member that has a prison-style tattoo that says diabetes, and it's misspelled. Just so you know what I'm working with out here in Northeast Tennessee. There you go. I really want to see this. John Shrek McPhee. You guys know who this is. I'm sure you will when you see him. Somebody's calling him out here. Valhalla VFT. You'll recognize him when you see him in a second. He's been on the Sean Ryan and all that stuff.
Everybody, no fancy intros today. We're going to jump straight into this episode. A lot of you are probably thinking, based off the title thumbnail, this has to be comedy, satire, sarcasm of some sort. No, I can assure you this is a very, very serious video today. And I'm sure you're wondering, how is this even remotely possible? Well, that's what I'm going to show you today. So what we're going to be doing is going through all of the USASOC and Army Human Resource Command documents and service records of John McPhee. What these documents are the unclassified, releasable USASOC Freedom of Information Act documents that are the investigation and the Special Forces tab revocation of John McPhee, amongst other.
I know he said some wild shit that I didn't agree with before, but still.
Even more serious punishments in 2009. All right, so none of this is my opinions. None of this is secondhand stories through the rumor mill, grapevine. Everything I show you in this entire episode will be backed up by documents from either USASOC or U.S. Army Human Resource Command. So let's not waste any more time. We're going to jump into it. We're going to start at the beginning, work our way through it. I'm going to give you some viewer discretion advised. There's some pretty horrific things that you may hear in this, but, you know, that's the way it is. Truth is what's important. So here we go. All right, so first document we're going to look at.
Hold on, let me show you who he is so you know who we're talking about. John Shrek McPhee, I think's how you spell it. If you ever seen Sean Ryan, he's went viral on there a couple times. He's been on all kinds of shit. Here he is. Here's what he looks like currently. There you go. See him in the corner. I'll zoom in. I didn't realize that picture was going to be that fucking small, but he's got like a big fucking jawline, white beard, white-headed, Sean Ryan show. Where else have we seen him? There he is. I don't know that he was on, I don't know if he was on Rogan or not. I guess we can look. He's been on a bunch of those. Yeah, he was on Joe Rogan. Okay. A Joe Rogan Experience 2238. John McPhee. They call him Shrek, which he kind of looks like Shrek. But apparently he has some dark history.
Here in the linear chain of events of the Special Forces tab revocation, amongst, as you'll see here, the revocation of the Green Beret, the MOS changed from 18 series, which is Green Beret, 18 Zulu, to 11 Zulu and infantrymen. All right, so for those of you who haven't been in the military, but the military is going to know what a DA 4187 is. Personnel action, it's essentially changing something about the soldier's records. As you can see here, down by the X, those of you who haven't been in the military, but the military is going to know what a DA 4187 is. Personnel action, it's essentially changing something about the soldier's records. As you can see here, down by the X, you have the reclassification and SF tab. When we come down to the remarks section here, you will see, number one, request reclassification from 18 Zulu, Green Beret Team Sergeant or Sergeant Major, to 11 Zulu infantrymen. Number two, concurrent with this reclassification, request the award of the Special Forces tab to Sergeant Major McPhee be revoked.
Damn.
Of this actions. And as you see down here, yes, this was part of a GOMAR. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. Okay. As you see, not only that, look who this was signed by. Admiral McRaven, all the way to the top. So yes, this was very serious.
Holy shit.
Yes, trust me that we're going to get into all of the reasons.
A GOMAR is a General Officer Memorandum of Reprimand. That is a high level, like, hey, somebody fucked up bad.
All these punishments were doled out, but we need to take a look at all of the punishments because it's a lot more than just the tab revocation. All right, next document you'll see here, memorandum from the commander. As you can see, recommendation for termination of CMF 18 status, being a Green Beret, and the Special Forces tab of Sergeant Major John McPhee. It says here, I have reviewed the file, including a General Officer Memorandum of Reprimand today, which I directed and filed in Sergeant Major McPhee's OMPF, and recommend you initiate administrative procedures to terminate Sergeant Major McPhee's current MOS, being a Green Beret, and revoke his Special Forces tab. Sergeant Major John McPhee's serious misconduct while assigned to United States Special Operations Command reflects a deficiency in the professional judgment and personal integrity, calling into question his ability to adhere to the personal and professional standards required.
Damn, dude. This is I guess, military jargon, but damn, that sounds bad.
Of a Special Forces Sergeant Major. I make this recommendation based off of AR 600-37, Chapter 1-4, and the objectives of balancing the rights of individual soldiers with the Army's need to ensure that soldiers of poor moral character are not continued in the service and advanced position of leadership, trust, and responsibility. All right, I know you're already asking up front what could have been so bad that doled out some of these extreme punishments. We haven't even got through all of them yet, but trust me, that's going to come in the second half.
Tab revocation is a big one, right? And take it. I guess they have to basically change his MOS
After the video, all right, let's keep moving through these documents. All right, and so the final official orders, permanent change of records, right here, as you can see, the following order is revoked or rescinded as shown. Action revoke pertaining to award of Special Forces tab by the commander. All right, now I'm going to show you the rest of the punishments that came with having the Green Beret revoked and the Special Forces tab revoked here. So as you see here, SWIX, revocation of your Special Forces tab, also the MOS change to 11 Zulu, so revocation of the Green Beret as well, suspension of your special pays, suspension of your security clearance.
Damn.
30 days to find an assignment at Fort Bragg, vice PCSing to Fort Drum. All right, so obviously these are very, very extreme punishments. The revocation of the Green Beret Special Forces tab, getting your security clearances banned, things like that. But that's not even our biggest punishment. And this next one actually leads us into some very, very concerning misrepresentation of service because, as we all know him, Sergeant Major McPhee,
Also known as the Sheriff of Baghdad
Oh, they took his rank, didn't they?
or Shrek. You are a retired U.S. Army Special Operations Sergeant Major with over 20 years.
Well, that's really interesting because what I have here is John's service record sent to me directly by U.S. Army Human Resources Command as coordinated through USASOC. And according to the U.S. Army, John is a retired master sergeant. That is an E8. That is a very different rank than a sergeant major. As we see here, his full service records, he joined in 1991. That date's going to be very important later as we talk about some things. In Career Management Field 11, the Infantry, and CMF 18, Special Forces, all the way up until, obviously, he had that tab revoked in 2009. And confirming that, as we move down through his service records and we get down into awards here, we start to hit into the schools and badges. Yeah, Ranger tab here you see, but what you don't see here is, of course, the Special Forces tab that would be before that. So according to the U.S.
So basically, he must have got busted down in rank or just lying about one rank higher.
Army, John is not a retired Sergeant Major Green Beret. John is a retired Master Sergeant Infantryman. And while there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, that is not the story that we've been told. And the thing is, these things, guys, these are a privilege. These are not a right. And when the Special Forces Regiment revokes this privilege from you, you are no longer a part of this community at all. Now we have to look at why. Why did all this happen? Why did all these extreme punishments happen? And I told you at the beginning of the video, and I'm going to say it again. What we're going to get into is extremely disturbing and try to leave my emotions out of it. Downright disgusting. But
Wait, what do you guys think? Stateside or war crimes or... God, don't let it be fucking child porn or some shit.
You make the decisions for yourself. First, we're going to see what Special Forces Command had to say. All right, so this is the actual reprimand document from the Special Forces Command team, and we're going to go through it, okay? So it gets into the start of the reasons why. So it says here, you are reprimanded for committing adultery with a fellow non-commissioned officer assigned to this command in violation of Article 134 of the Uniform Code of Military Justice. A commander's inquiry conducted by Redacted, pursuant of Rule of Courts Martial 303, found that during 2008 and January 2009, you carried on an adulterous relationship with a married woman who was not your wife. During the entire duration of the relationship, both you and Redacted were assigned to Joint Special Operations Command. You admitted to this misconduct during the investigation. And here's what Special Forces Command had to say about John. You are hereby reprimanded for your misconduct. Your acts demonstrate an absolute departure from the moral, ethical, and legal standards required of our most senior non-commissioned officers. As the senior enlisted advisor of the JA Directorate, you are entrusted to lead, supervise, and care for your soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines. You cannot lead without setting the proper legal, moral, and ethical example. You demonstrated an utter lack of judgment and blatant disregard for these standards of conduct, undermining the fundamental good order and discipline of your unit. As such, your conduct falls markedly short of the standards expected of leaders in this command.
Adulterous relationship with somebody under their command.
That's a far cry difference from what he has to say about himself.
I mean, I think I'm a great role model.
So you might be thinking adultery, that's not that big of a deal. Oh, there's a lot more to it than that we're going to take a look at. But as you can see here, all of the reasons, adultery, DUI, and detainee abuse investigations. And as that relationship spiraled, I'm going to show you some things that happened here. And this is where I'm going to tell you, extreme viewer discretion advised. All right, so some of this I'm not even going to be able to read because of YouTube censorship guidelines, but we'll work our way through it. As you see here. Even though I confessed to my husband and left, he was also very much full of rage. Sometimes he would just snap. All of this anger would just come out of nowhere, and he's pushed the window of my truck, throw things, scream at me, and threaten me by saying I better stop whatever I was doing, yelling or defending myself, because he was capable of things I couldn't imagine, and not to put myself in that situation. He's got in my face, bowed up to me, telling me I'd better shut my mouth, because I had no idea what he was capable of. The worst was him putting a loaded blank to my face. He did this.
Holy shit. Because I had an affair myself. So who was I to judge? Even though I confessed to my husband and left.
Because I turned down a song he was listening to so I could hear what he was saying. He was drunk. He also has thrown me to the ground. He did this when I was 3 months pregnant. I called 911, but I had not pressed charges. He had threatened to commit S every time I thought we should part. I would stay. During that same time we were seeing each other, he was also on and off with his ex-wife. Found out another time in particular when I went to his house to visit, she was there. I didn't go inside, but just drove away. I later found out from her that he had pointed a loaded gun and threatened to shoot her if she didn't leave. He did this because she admitted to sleeping with his friend and then roommate. I talked to John about this, and after the fact, he not only admitted everything to me, but he also told me that she was 5 seconds from getting her head blanked off if she hadn't left. We'll scroll down to the bottom. He has had the police called
Blown off if she hadn't left. I started to distance myself from him at this point, but found it hard to completely let go. There had been multiple times during our time together that I had feared him, mostly leaving him. And at the same time, I had an enormous amount of love for him, healthy or not. It was there and real from my part. So I did not cut things off completely, but I did distance myself. And again, I loved him very much, or at least who I thought he was. John McPhee has a lot of friends and can be extremely charismatic and deceptive. But some people have seen a different side.
on him several times by his ex-wife for blank abuse. The reason, redacted, excessive abuse on detainees. So what you see there, and why that's redacted, is the reason he was removed from Delta Force. It's a little bit different story than he's told.
Excessive use of force on detainees. So detainee of use investigation is an investigation on proper use of force on somebody you have detained, right? Which, you know, it could be like police officers, but when you're talking about overseas, they're usually like you're questioning people or they could be prisoners or whatever. But he was kicked out for excessive use of force on detainees.
About getting divorced, and that's why, according to the investigation here, was because of excessive abuse of detainees. He has told me in reference to that everyone was doing it, and he had done a lot worse things than he had even gotten fired for. That goes against everything. Reference to that everyone was.
He had done a lot worse than what he got fired for. The people who fired him had done worse too.
And he had done a lot worse things than he had even gotten fired for. That goes against everything this funny green hat stands for.
Beating the hell out of his fucking wives as well, throwing her down. She's 3 months pregnant. Holy shit, dude.
The oppressively bear to free the.
I understand that happens. I understand that happens in the military. I understand that happens in law enforcement. But to then put this guy on a pedestal is the problem. Like, I don't think we should seek him out and fucking avenge his wife with like mob justice. But I also don't think that he should be on a pedestal talking to anybody on any show.
Oppressed. And that's not even the worst of it. I'm also now going to show you something that John said himself. And this is extreme viewer discretion advice. Okay. I'm not even going to be able to read most of it, but it's going to be up here. There is an email from Sergeant Major McPhee to the victim, which states, following blank intercourse the previous night,
which states that following sexual intercourse the previous night, he felt like a rapist. In his statement, he explained the context of the email to be that evening, 29 Jan 09. He was over at the apartment, could not recall the reason, and they started to fool around. He stated that she already took medication for the evening and laid there versus fully involved.
In a statement, he explained the context of the email to be that evening he was over at her apartment, could not recall the reasons. They started to mess around. He stated she had already taken medication for the evening and laid there versus being fully involved. As we scroll down to the bottom here, you'll find out about.
There is a possible 911 call in January, February 2008 timeframe from phone number blank that could provide limited corroborating evidence. Tab 2, question 7. However, blank states that although she did provide their names, she did it while inside her car headed home, and she did not want to press charges or notify the chain of command.
The victim, when asked,
the 22 Jan 09 complaint in blank, where she alleges Sergeant Major McPhee was banging loudly on the door, is not otherwise documented, including no phone call to 911. There's just blank statement of concern, blank. When asked,
Sergeant Major McPhee stated that many times when he went to the victim's apartment after 7 o'clock, he had to bang loudly on the door just to be heard. Since she took 2 Ambien and Xanax to sleep nightly.
Holy fuck. So he went and fucked her on 2 Ambien and Xanax and then said, man, that was weird. I felt like a rapist. Whoa.
All the young men watching this who look up to Green Berets, look up to special operators, there is no situation ever where this is okay. I don't want you to think that for a second. So I think we all can understand now why Special Forces Command and Special Forces Regiment decided to strip his Special Forces tab and his Green Beret, ban his security clearances, demote him. Super disappointing, man. Super disappointing. You have to be honest, guys. And you can be honest, all right? There's guys out there. Taylor Kavanaugh, great example.
I don't even like drunk sex. Makes you feel weird.
Of the SEAL teams. He tells that story honestly with integrity. and people respect him for it. But this brings up the question of, if you're going to lie about all of these things, what else might you be lying about? Well, let's take a look at something.
Did you do any deployment trips in that 18 months?
Let's see. Oh, we jumped into Iraq in like fucking 90 or whatever it was. I broke my leg, landed in a minefield, had a walk with broken bones, and then yeah.
All right. So John says there in Mike Ritland's podcast, I believe that was less than a week ago, that he jumped into Iraq during Desert Storm in 1990 into an Iraqi minefield. That's an insane story. But I said we were going to come back to his service records real quick. Let's take a look at those. Now, when I look at these service records, the first thing I notice is John didn't join the military until January of 1991. How did you jump into an Iraqi minefield in 1990 when you weren't even in the military? But let's say he forgot when he joined the military. January of 1991. Do you guys know when Desert Storm, the combat of Desert Storm ended? February of 1991. The war ended when John was in basic training. Not only that, he's missing two very important service awards. He doesn't have the Southwest Asia Service Medal, which Desert Storm veterans get. And he also doesn't have the Kuwait Liberation Medal of Saudi Arabia, which is what you would have gotten for Desert Storm. What he does have is the Kuwait Liberation Medal of Kuwait, which you could have gotten up until 1993, well after the war. So, interesting story. Sounds cool. The dates, unfortunately, don't work at all. It may have been that he did a...
He's hanging out with Jeff B now. He's going to have to get a bunk bed.
Static line jump onto Kuwait airfield after the war was over. But that's a very, very different story than jumping into an Iraqi minefield during Desert Storm. So, I think...
And walking around on a broken bones.
It's time for some honesty. And it's time to stop representing yourself as part of our community, which you are most certainly not. You guys think I'm just trying to go after this guy? I can assure you, there are 200 more pages of this. Far, far more embarrassing than what I've showed you. And I'm hoping I don't need to release any more of this. I'm hoping this is enough. Or I may have to public forum and release every single one of these documents to the public in a Google Drive. I'll just have to wait and see. That's not going to be up to me. So again, I'm sorry to, all of his fans and supporters. I get it. There's going to be a lot of cognitive dissonance that goes in learning something like this. I've had no problem with John. I've done multiple pieces of content on John. You can go back and look for yourself. I have been supportive of him or defended him in every single one. But this is not what the Special Forces Regiment is about. And the Green Beret community will continue to police its own. That's going to do it for this one. Catch you on the next one.
Hold on just a second. I'm going to see if there's been any response. Because this was posted a day ago, right? So someone says, the Valhalla YouTube drama by John McPhee is total bullshit. I was in a unit safe house in the Green Zone, 15 August, when he was fired over the unique detainee situation. He told the OIF and Unit CO, it's not our problem, and we were carrying out W orders to a T. Sorry, guys, I know you like him because he was on that propaganda podcast, Ryan. Sort of had the heads up that he was a shitbag back in 2016. I used to contract with McRaven's senior enlisted advisor. McRaven signed the tab revocation for McPhee. John's a liar, always was. Statement regarding John Streck McPhee. After the release of my most recent video, new information has come to light regarding John McPhee. Multiple credible sources have raised concerns that certain aspects of his background and stories may have been misrepresented or exaggerated. While this video was produced in good faith based on the information available at the time, I believe it's important to be transparent with you, my audience. Please view this content with that in mind and understand that some claims attributed to McPhee may not be accurate, and I'm still investigating the matter. That was from Popo Medic. Anyone who has watched the interview with John Streck McPhee should have had alarm bells ringing for many reasons. It was obvious that he wasn't being honest. It's also obvious that he has some very, very serious personality problems. When I saw him talk, that's the first thing I thought. Like he's like a fucking narcissist or some shit.
Say it ain't so.
John is a retired master sergeant.
This is Jameson.
That is an E8.
Say it ain't so. What is going on? I heard about this, and Santa's not real. I'm a big Shrek fan. I was a big Shrek fan.
John is a retired master sergeant.
I think lots of people
Say it ain't
probably were. This is Jameson. Let's see if he's got a response to it or done any investigation on it. Documents don't lie. Here we go. 200 more pages sounds pretty damning.
Or Shrek. You are a retired U.S. Army Special Operations Sergeant Major.
And according to the U.S. Army, John is a retired master sergeant. That is an E8.
Say it ain't so. What is going on? I heard about this. Late night talk. And Santa's not real. I'm a big Shrek fan. I was a big Shrek fan. The details of this, check Nate's video out, are so gut-wrenching. It's long. It's not good. Not good. Stand by.
Revocation of John McPhee.
In 90 or whatever it was, I broke my leg, landed in a minefield, had a walk with broken bones, and then yeah.
Right. So John says there in Mike Ritland's podcast, I believe that was less than a week ago, that he jumped into Iraq during Desert Storm in 1990.
Hold on a second. So I was in then before Desert Storm. And I don't remember anybody jumping, but information is limited. And I heard that statement from Shrek, and I go, Rangers jumped into a minefield, Desert Storm. Called some friends, they're like, nah. And then I found out he got in. Hold on.
Into an Iraqi minefield. That's an insane story. Now, when I look at these service records, the first thing I notice is John didn't join the military until January of 1991.
That's the part that got me. I thought maybe he missed the dates up. A minefield, like a whole battalion of Rangers jumping in. I remember I heard it. I sent it to Nate, and I go, that doesn't seem right. Why is there a flex on this one? Doesn't make sense. I mean, you get the dates wrong. I get all that. He wasn't even in. Desert Storm was long gone. He's a Delta guy. He's had admirable service for at least 16 years of his career. You don't make E9 unless you're just an absolute stud, right? Nate goes into it. Check it out. The last 3 years of his career, I'm going to say he had some problems, significant problems.
Are the investigation and the Special Forces tab revocation of John McPhee. Everything I show you in this entire episode will be backed up by documents from either USASOC or U.S. Army Human Resource Command.
For the record, Nate shared some of it with me. I've seen not all of it. It's very real. It's very ugly. I had to stop looking. I go, that's enough. Some of it is, I just don't even want to. It's not like war stories or, he had problems on the way out. Again, 16 years of what appears to be impeccable service. Fighting a war, Delta, E9, all of it. The last part, I wish I hadn't seen it.
All right, so first document we're going to look at here in the linear chain of events of the Special Forces tab revocation amongst, as you'll see here, the revocation of the Green Beret. The MOS changed from 18 series, which is Green Beret, 18 Zulu to 11 Zulu and infantrymen.
That's jarheads that are kind of stupid. That means he lost his job, so he goes from being Special Forces guy, Green Beret, to down to the grunts. Just back to the infantry. So, wow. I didn't know that was the thing. I thought they'd just say, I guess they couldn't say retired, because at that point he was, 18 years in, 17. He got out at 11, so he was 18 years in.
Now by the X, you have the reclassification and SF tab. When we come down to the remarks section here, you will see, number 1, request reclassification from 18 Zulu, Green Beret Team Sergeant or Sergeant Major, to 11 Zulu, Infantryman. Number 2, concurrent with this reclassification, request the award of the Special Forces tab to Sergeant Major McPhee be revoked.
Oh, a second, I know what you're thinking. Hey, buddy, he did all this stuff. He did. The guy, I liked the guy before he was popular. I'd see him on, this is a guy you'd have a beer with. Kind of quirky, interesting, kind of weird. I liked it. So he's done all this stuff. Why not just say, hey, towards the end of my career, instead of saying I was a Special Forces Sergeant Major, just say, I had a really bad booze problem. And you just, you can slide it off that way. Nate gets into it. Again, check his video out in the description. Why wouldn't you just say that? Because he's done such amazing, just kicking ass, taking names work. And then the end is...
Here, memorandum from the commander, as you can see, recommendation for termination of CMF 18 status, being a Green Beret, and the Special Forces tab of Sergeant Major John McPhee.
Nate had to go very light on the details here. And I can tell you, you do not want to see the details. They will anger you. They angered me. I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to steal Nate's thunder, but he's not allowed to talk about a lot of this on YouTube. I mean, he'd get banned. So heinous some of it is. Now, you may say it's the Army jamming him up, or it's another person jamming him up.
I don't...
Some of it in his words, unfortunately. It's like the worst case scenario for a man.
He admitted it, and then he's got to sign this, right?
The whole thing is gut-wrenching. And again, I was a big fan of the guy. I loved what he was doing. He was very entertaining. He had this amazing career. Well, some of the stories were getting big, the fish stories, but who am I to say? Who am I to judge? I wasn't in the war with him. Come on.
Terminate Sergeant Major McPhee's current MOS, being a Green Beret, and revoke his Special Forces tab. Sergeant Major John McPhee's serious misconduct while assigned to United States Special Operations Command reflects a deficiency in the professional judgment and personal integrity, calling into question his ability to adhere to the personal and professional standards required of a Special Forces sergeant.
Let's give some context here. This is the way I understand it when he was at MacDill, JSOC, when he was doing, he wasn't as an operator. at that point. And now I understand Brent's going to get from anti-hero, going to get into part of this too, but I understand that he was a sergeant major at JSOC at MacDill, so he was doing, we'll call it an admin role of sorts, and when all this went down, just for context.
Of poor moral character are not continued in the service and advanced position of leadership, trust, and responsibility.
You got to see Nate's video, and he's not going to be able to go into a lot of it. I know, I saw Nate's video. There's no way he can. He's going to allude to it. I can tell you, and I'm not a drama queen, the stuff in there, unfortunately too, in his own words, in the investigation, I wouldn't want that to come up for any man. Like, you could be saying, hey, the Army jammed
Damn, did I run everybody off or did chat quit?
There's just 300 pages of stuff that it's hard to find a shining light on.
Also, the MOS change to 11 Zulu, so revocation of the Green Berets. Well, suspension of your special pays, suspension of your security clearance.
That's an interesting one. Security clearance gone, busted down a rank. Wow.
And 30 days to find an assignment at Fort Bragg, vice PCSing to Fort Drum. All right, so obviously these are very, very extreme punishments. The revocation of the Green Beret Special Forces tab, getting your security clearances banned, things like that. But very, very concerning misrepresentation of service because, as we all know him, Sergeant Major McPhee.
This one's a head scratcher.
Did you guys see where Trump has now made it illegal to burn the U.S. flag?
It's like a Tim Walz moment. Tim Walz, a promoted sergeant major, had to get to 2 years to retire as it.
The Supreme Court's already ruled on this. Right? They've already ruled on this.
If he was a sergeant major, the way I math it, it may be like 16 years. Absolute rock star, right? Then when he gets there, has all these problems at JSOC about year 17. A lot of it looks like it may be violent substances, probably alcohol. That's when all this goes down.
Also known as the Sheriff of Baghdad or Shrek. You are a retired U.S. Army Special Operations Sergeant Major with over 20 years.
That's really interesting because what I have here is...
Okay, so what Nate's got is a response from the U.S. Army saying, here's all this war